Hola amigos, ¿qué tal? Stuart here from Spain Speaks. With the Spain News Update, we'll have a look at some of the main stories that have caught my attention in the press in Spain, and we'll also take a look at some comments that have been left on the channel recently by viewers. Before I begin, a huge thanks to all of the people that have supported the channel in recent times, whether it be by buying me a coffee, through the super thanks option on YouTube, my longer term supporters on Patreon, and the channel members of this YouTube channel. Thank you very much for that support. Now, straight into the news. And tourism in Spain, specifically foreign tourism in Spain, again breaking records. As we can read here, Spain sets record with 42.5 million tourists up to June and 55.6 billion euros spent. Spain set a new record for foreign tourist arrivals in the first half of the year, with 42.5 million people, 13.3% more than in the same period in 2023, and a record expenditure of 55.6 billion euros, 20.6% more, according to the National Statistics Institute. Last June alone, Spain received 9.31 million international tourists, 8.3 million in 2019, who spent 12.3 billion euros. Spanish tourism is on track this year to set new all-time records after 85.1 million international tourists arrived in Spain in 2023, leaving 108.6 billion in the country, its best figures ever. So records again being broken when it comes to foreign tourist arrivals in Spain. Some huge figures there. 42.5 million international visitors coming to Spain up until June and spending a whopping 55.6 billion euros. So the country on track to break all records this year if the trend continues, of course. Second piece of news now, and the Valencian community is the latest autonomous community in Spain to announce a crackdown on short-term rentals. And as we can read here, the new decree on tourist rentals in the Valencia region toughens penalties. The new decree to regulate tourist accommodation in the Valencian community foresees greater autonomy for local councils to decide the model of the city they want and to limit the use of these properties. Among the new features, harsher penalties will be imposed, as well as a ban on key boxes and the obligation to offer a reception service. This new decree modifies the previous one and includes among its new features the autonomy of the municipalities to decide what model of city they want and to be able to limit this use of dwellings as tourist accommodation according to their specific circumstances. So the Valencian community cracking down on short-term holiday rentals, and as we saw there, tougher penalties for those who infringe the new rules. And another interesting feature is that all short-term rentals in the Valencian community will have to offer a reception service, so no more key boxes. So it seems as though we're going back to what it was like before, when you actually had to speak to the person who was offering you the accommodation. Doesn't seem so bad, does it? Third piece of news now, and anyone who has been in Spain over the last month or so will know how hot the nighttime temperatures have been. And as we can read here, July minimum temperatures offer no relief. Nights above 20 degrees Celsius and more than 140 records. A whole month of tropical nights. This is the situation experienced in Cartagena and Palma, where sleeping during July has been an almost impossible task because the minimum temperatures have not fallen below 21 degrees Celsius on any day in the last month, according to the analysis of the provisional temperatures registered by the State Meteorological Agency, the AEMET. And with at least 3 heat waves in the last 15 days, this situation has spread to much of the rest of mainland Spain and the Canary Islands. The increase in heat at night has become an effective indicator of global warming for some scientists, and in the last year, Spain has accumulated hundreds of records for the highest minimum temperature. They have been broken at almost 140 stations in the last month alone, according to Datos RTVE's analysis. So there we go, very difficult for a lot of people to get a good night's sleep during the month of July in many parts of Spain. And in Cartagena in Murcia and in Palma on the island of Mallorca, the temperature didn't fall below 21 degrees the whole month. So let's hope that the month of August offers some relief and some lower nighttime temperatures, because let's be honest, if you don't get a good night's sleep, you're cranky for the rest of the day. Now let's have a look at some comments that have been left on the channel recently. One here from Juvenil's dad: I'm actually with the restaurant restaurant owner in Antequera. It would have been obvious to the customer when entering the establishment that there was no air conditioning, so there is not much excuse for complaining about it afterwards. Also, just to add that Antequera is lovely for a visit. Prehistoric archaeological sites, nice restaurants with or without air conditioning, and the Mollete factory. Just kidding about the last one. Yeah, Juvenile's dad, thanks for the comment. And Antequera in the province of Malaga in the south of Spain, famous for many things, not only molletes. And if you don't know what a mollete is, it's on the screen now. And other people in the comment section also took the side of the restaurant owner in that argument. If you're not familiar with the story, in yesterday's live stream we saw an article about a person who went to eat in a restaurant in the town of Antequera, liked the food, liked the service, but the biggest complaint he had was that the place didn't have an air conditioner. The owner of the establishment saw the review and hit back, saying that it wasn't worth his while putting in an air conditioning unit for 35 hot days a year. So whose side are you on in this argument? The customer's side, a person that wanted to dine in air-conditioned comfort, or the restaurant owner that doesn't want to fork out for an air conditioning unit? Let me know in the comment section below. One here from Marius about that comment from Marie. You didn't really understand it but still commented. I noticed a lot of attitude of superiority lately. Just my opinion. Yeah, Marius, thanks for the comment and thanks for sharing your opinion. I don't agree with it, but you're entitled to share it. And as far as Marie's comment is concerned, a comment that we saw in yesterday's live stream, I had to go at Marie because I don't like people telling me to go home, especially telling me to go home to a country that I don't come from in the first place. And when people write comments like that, especially when they're barely legible, I would prefer that people didn't leave their opinion. But hey, that's just my opinion, Marius. And when it comes to the other thing that you mentioned there, something about superiority, don't know what you're talking about, because all I want is to be able to understand the comments that are written on this channel. Is that too much to ask? One here from Paul, thank you for dealing with the nasty comment with aplomb. Yeah, Paul, thanks for the comment, and you're right, it was a nasty comment, that comment from Marie, somebody trying to censor me and telling me to go home. But Marius, of course, didn't see it that way. One here from On to the Next Thing, what state broadcaster isn't losing money while they extort taxpayers? Yet define one. Yeah, on to the next thing, thanks for the comment, and maybe you are right that there are not too many state broadcasters out there that are not sucking up taxpayers' dollars and putting out antiquated content. The state broadcaster in Spain, RTVE, as we saw yesterday, having to publish the salaries of its top executives, some 191 executives in that company, and opposition parties here in Spain, for example Vox, questioning the business model. And I think it opens an important debate. How important are state broadcasters in the year 2024, and do they have a future or not? Let me know your opinion on this in the comment section below. One here from Yanasi, for some odd reason people believe or don't believe in global warming based on the weather in one city. The word global means the whole Earth. Look at the oceans or the Earth's yearly average temperature, then you get global warming. Hopefully the deniers understand the difference now. Yeah, Yanasi, thanks for the comment. And another debate that popped up in yesterday's live stream, a lively debate it was, people toing and froing about this topic. It seems that whenever you mention the words climate change or climate crisis, or we see it in the news, people get worked up. And Yanisi is right, this whole issue is a lot bigger than somebody's perception of what the weather is like on their front porch. But again, just my opinion. One here from BCN Pod, I just returned from Spain. 95% of the Spanish people are quiet and friendly. Of course I speak Spanish, but nevertheless, the common Spaniard are not obsessed over anti-tourism. Yeah, BCN, thanks for the comment, but I'll just pick you up on something there, because it's not 95% of the Spanish population that are quiet and friendly. It's around 94.5. And when it comes to the other thing that you mentioned there about the average Spaniard, or the common Spaniard as you say, I reckon you're right. They're not interested in this anti-tourism debate at all, or at least the majority, because the majority of people don't live in these tourist hotspots. And the final comment here from Nigel, 11.27% unemployment? That's devastating. Why would Spain allow a single person to enter when so many still lack employment? While progress may have been made, there is a terribly long way to go and won't be helped by open borders. Yeah, Nigel, thanks for the comment, but as far as I know, Spain doesn't have open borders with other countries except for countries in the Schengen area. I could be wrong, but I think that is the case. case. Spain doesn't have open borders with Africa. Spain doesn't have open borders with South America, as far as I know. But what I do know is that Spain has an aging population and a low birth rate, and if you put those two things together, there could be an issue going forward, especially if you want to try and maintain a generous pension system. But again, just my opinion, and I could be wrong. On that note, I'll wrap the video up. Questions and comments, please leave them in the section below. If you have anything to add to the conversation today, the comment section is the place for you. Give the video a thumbs up if you liked it, thumbs down if you didn't. I'll see you in the next one. Hasta luego.